Sonic is cool again. Recently, there's been a lot of different announcements made for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I've kind of started to reflect on the franchise as a whole. Sonic right now is in such a great place, especially in comparison to what it was like being a Sonic fan 2 years ago. Last year alone was one of the most eventful years that Sonic has ever had. We got a movie, a classic collection, a good 3D Sonic game, and a TV show. And you know, at first I was expecting Sonic to enter the next drought. The next waiting period where we barely get any Sonic content until the next time Sega decides to release a new game. But that's not what happened. In fact, it seems like Sega still has plenty of more content to be released. Just in the past 4 months of this year alone, we have gotten the first Sonic Frontiers update, which fixes various issues with the game while also adding new content, a Sonic Frontiers Plus announcement, an entirely new Sonic game that they just decide to drop randomly for free, and we're still probably getting more, such as the second part of Sonic Prime and maybe even a 2D Sonic game announcement, since Mario seems to be hinting towards that. Compare this to 2020 and you'll realize that we were getting nothing. No content, no games, all we were getting was comics and social media posts. I wasn't too bothered by it because personally I'm okay with waiting a while as long as the game is good, but at the end of the day, where Sonic is at now with the constant releases and announcements, it's clear to me that Sonic is cool again. And I wanted to kind of dedicate this video to all of the new stuff that we're getting this year, since I haven't really done that yet. I've just been making video essays, so this is going to be the video where I finally talk about what's happening with Sonic. I'm going to be going over every individual thing that we know are going to be released this year, as well as things that have already been released, and I'm basically just going to be giving my thoughts about it, what I like, what I didn't like, all that stuff. So with that said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on, become a chill member, all that stuff. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, first up, the Sonic Frontiers update. Recently, Sega has given us a roadmap of updates coming to Sonic Frontiers, and it all looks very interesting. It's going to be adding special events, a music player, and for the last update, they're going to bring in playable characters. And I will say that I am very happy for that final update. Anyways, the first update for Sonic Frontiers has been released, and I mean, it's alright. The main new additions to this update were the music player, the camera mode, and the challenge modes. All that stuff is pretty cool. The music player is interesting enough, but not really game-changing. The camera mode is bare bones, but I don't really care. It helps me make thumbnails, so I like it, and Twitter likes it, so who am I to complain about it? And for the challenge modes, I had a fair bit of fun. I really enjoyed the combat challenge mode. It was basically a boss rush mode, and it was executed very well. I sat down and played this for a while, and I loved just smashing through all of these bosses as fast as possible. That stuff was pretty cool. Now, as for the cyberspace challenge mode, I didn't finish it. I got to the second set of levels, but then I got bored and stopped playing. To be honest, I just couldn't be asked to play through all those levels. Look, man, I got stuff to do, man. I'm not playing through that. Now, upon completing both challenge modes with all S ranks, you get access to a new feature. For combat, you get an extra hard mode, and for cyberspace, you get to use the power boost in the cyberspace stages or something like that. Either way, I did get the extra hard mode, and I do have to say that it's alright. Not the hard mode I particularly wanted. Personally, I would like to see the enemy's attack patterns become more difficult, but this difficulty just made everything one shot, so that was kinda lame. Still a harmless feature though, so I'm not really complaining. I just didn't care for it. And with that said, that's about it. There's a few other good changes, such as the ability to skip all of the dialogue in the Elder Coco, thank God. And there was probably a few other changes I didn't pick up on that might be interesting. Overall, I'd say the update was decent enough. It's not game-changing at all, and I wouldn't tell anyone to replay the game just because of this update, but it's still appreciated at the end of the day. I feel like Update 1 will be much more appreciated once we get through the entire roadmap of Sonic Frontiers, because then we'll be able to see the full picture and the role that all of the updates had in improving the game. The next update is said to have the spin dash, which is extremely based. So I'm ready to see what that's all about. And of course, I am excited for Update 3 where we get playable characters. These updates are great. I'm happy that Sega's actually choosing to fix this game and add more content instead of just leaving it to die like how they always do. Sonic Frontiers is a great Sonic game, but it has some much needed improvements. I'm hoping that in future updates that they potentially add some momentum or fix the pop-in, because Who knows, guys? This might be one of my favorite Sonic games coming soon. I really did enjoy the core of this game, and it was so close to that perfect Sonic experience, so maybe these updates can finish the game, make it peak fiction, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm done talking about Sonic Frontiers, let's move on. Alright, next up we have Sonic Origins Plus. This is the expanded edition of Sonic Origins, sort of like how Sonic Mega Collection has Sonic Mega Collection Plus. I have a lot to say here. I am a fan of the original Sonic Origins, but I do understand why people are unsatisfied with the collection. There are issues with this collection, and I completely understand why some do not want to deal with that. Personally, I don't run into many bugs and glitches, my game is perfectly fine. But with that said, for the issues I do have with the game, I have used mods to fix those issues. So for me, I'm very excited for Sonic Origins Plus. However, I am also excited for all of you guys who did not enjoy the collection because there is hope for you guys. Trust me. Because over on Twitter, the developers for Sonic Origins being Headcanon, they have come out with a Twitter thread that is basically talking about the announcement of Sonic Origins Plus. But in one of the tweets, it says the following. Alongside Sega's work in updating the collection, we were also able to supply a few additional updates and enhancements to help make the title the best it can be. We appreciate their openness to our feedback and suggestions. To me, that tells us that Headcanon is going to be fixing some of the main issues that we've had with Sonic Origins. How much will they fix? I don't know, but I'm still curious to see what we can get. The main issues I want them to address are the issues I have to fix through modding. The biggest problem with this game that I believe they should address right away is the blur issue. The entirety of Sonic Origins has a blur effect, and it just does not look good. Granted, it might go over some people's heads, but as soon as you notice it, you can't unsee it. Apparently it's an issue with the Retro Engine ports or something, I don't know, blah blah blah. What the point is that the game shouldn't be blurry. I don't even think it would be that hard of an issue to fix because the mod that fixes the blur effect in the game was created literally one day after Sonic Origins released. If modders can fix it within a day, there is no reason why Sega should not be able to fix it. Another huge issue. The drop dash. The drop dash in Sonic CD and Sonic 3 Knuckles is perfectly fine, but in Sonic 1 and 2, it sucks major balls. There's a feature called roll lock, which means that upon using the drop dash, and if you decide to jump, you are locked in midair. That is stupid. There is also a mod that fixes this issue by removing roll lock, and this mod was created 2 days after the release of Sonic Origins. Again, if it takes modders only 2 days to fix this big of an issue, I am confident that Sega has the ability to do the same. Now, as for the rest of the issues, they're not as game-ruining as those two, however, it would be nice if they could be fixed, such as giving the player the ability to turn off the drop dash and spin dash for specific games, or a way to replay levels without going to the time attack mode. Little things like that can go a long way in making this updated collection a lot better. I hope that Sega really gets around to fixing these issues, because I do believe that underneath all of the issues that this collection has, that there is something great beneath it all. Let's just hope that that will actually be the case and that this won't be a cash grab. Okay, final thing to talk about. A new Sonic game was released called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody expected it. Sega just decided to drop an entirely new Sonic game on April Fool's Day. Unfortunately, it's only on Steam. I really do hope it gets ported to other consoles, but regardless, this is insane. The best part about it is that it's free. Zero money. You can play this game right now. Now, with that said, you may be asking, well, is it good? I believe the game is great, depending on the audience. It's basically a storybook-styled Sonic game where you essentially observe a Sonic story taking place right before your eyes. Think about Doki Doki Literature Club, but with Sonic characters and less Natsuki. So don't walk into this game expecting a platformer or some other kind of game, because this game, to its core, is about reading text. You are here to experience a story. Do not expect platforming. With that said, the game is about Amy's birthday party, and all of the characters are gathered on a train, and they are playing a murder mystery game. Sonic was murdered, and now it's up to the character, which I named X-Pool, and Tails to solve a mystery by speaking with various Sonic characters on the train. Now, I'm not going to spoil the rest of the game. If you want to find out what happens next, go play it yourself or go watch someone else play it. From my personal experience, I loved it. I felt like the game had a lot of interesting twists and turns while also maintaining a well-written story. The artwork is great, and even the characterization for all of the Sonic characters were on point. If you like Sonic storytelling, I seriously think you would get a kick out of this game, so I highly recommend that you all check it out. Now, would I say that's one of the best Sonic games? Technically, yes. However, I wouldn't call it one of my favorites. I still would rather play Sonic Heroes over this game, and trust me, that is not a compliment. But as a game that is trying to achieve the goal of being a visual novel, it does its job flawlessly. I saw quite a few cringe Nene Baby Sonic fans crying over the fact that this game is the 4th highest rated Sonic game, sitting at 86% on Metacritic. But I feel like that's a very fair score. Look at it this way. As a critic, it is your job to review a game based on how good the game is within its genre. If you are reviewing Sonic Generations, you're going to review that game based on how good of a platformer it is. So when it comes to the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, you should be reviewing it based on how good of a visual novel it is. And as a visual novel, this game is really damn good. It may not be a perfect 10 out of 10 from that genre. From what I've heard, that title goes to Danganronpa, but it is better than a lot of games in the visual novel genre. From the few that I've played and seen other people play, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is better, and I can confidently say that. The point I'm making here is that you don't agree with this review score because you don't play these types of games. The same way that someone who only plays first-person shooters might call Super Mario Galaxy mediocre. You're not the target audience. Granted, despite me not being the target audience, I still enjoyed this game a ton. And who knows, maybe you watching this video are the target audience and you might love this to death. I still recommend that everyone watching this video at least checks out the game once to see if it's your thing or not, because personally I had some fun with it. And this game actually got me to thinking about making this video that you're watching right here, because this is just so cool. I remember 2 years ago, Sonic couldn't even get spin-offs. Now look at him. He has a good 3D Sonic game, and Sega's dropping free spin-off games on random days because they're feeling cute. And it's not even a boring spin-off that any studio could have made. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is honestly very creative and well made. Under every single line of text, there is passion behind that game, and that's the stuff I like to see. And with that said, that is all I have to say for today. So if you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe with post notifications on. $5 channel members get access to my videos 2 days early. You guys know the drill. And finally, I have one last announcement. It's that I am making a Sonic Mania review that should be coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that. I decided to drop this video first so you guys had some content to watch while I made that video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you very soon with that Sonic Mania video. And with that said, peace out. My chill members are Doe Cream, Sonic Man 715, Snix, Sonic Pip, 3 Monic, JNXV, Archer XYZ, Snack Pigeon, Bananas, Junior Ring, Sonic Hub, Chip Chap Chop, The Squeaker Nerd, Super Shacks Boom, Sonic Extreme, and Super Saiyan Sonic. Thank you all for supporting my chill. Make sure to click one of the end card screen videos here. I love you guys. My throat hurts. Peace out.